Happy New Year, everyone. I hope you had a wonderful Christmas holiday, and I hope you got to take some time to relax and spend it with some family or friends or whoever your loved ones are, as the important things of the holidays are. And I know for us, we had some time to relax. Real estate was actually busier than we expected it to be, which we'll always take that. A couple things to announce. If you haven't received it already, you should have by now gotten some calendars in the mail from us, and we were super happy with them this year because we customized them. And so what we did, if you didn't notice and you did get them, is that they're actually all our own listings. So they're either homes that we've sold in the recent past or that we have currently listed or that we had listed. And so all Edmonton or local properties, which is super cool. And if you, for some reason, didn't get them, Canada Post is not always super reliable. And if you wanted a copy, just let us know and we'll make sure we get it to you. But wanted to mention that. And also, we, as of yesterday, just got the keys to our new office in the Southwest. So we start the build out and the renovations today, which is super exciting. We expect to be moving by the end of March, and we're beyond excited about that. But in terms of the market stats, and so what happened in 2022, this is the beginning of the year. Now, we don't have our market forecasters from the economists forecasting what's they expect to be happening in 2023, so I can just really report on what's come about. And obviously, we know that there's been some changes, and if you follow these market reports, you have a general idea of my sentiment and the way things have been going with interest rates rising and the market slowing down. Just to recap that, essentially the numbers in the last, let's say, about 4 months have been just coming back down to what they were pre-COVID. So they're really not serious in terms of super low numbers. They're just not the crazy COVID numbers that we've gotten used to. So essentially they've just settled, which is really cool. When you look at the bigger markets like the Toronto, Vancouver's, they saw these massive spikes during COVID in terms of how many sales they were getting and what their sale prices actually were. We saw the sale numbers spike, but not so much the average sale prices. They'd come up, but nothing that was completely out of reach for people. So homes are still affordable, and Edmonton is blessed to have not just affordable numbers, but obviously still a lot of revenue coming in, a lot of jobs and opportunities. And so now that the new interest rates have kind of become the normal and people have accepted them as this is what it's like to have a mortgage again, we got so used to almost free money, and that ship has sailed, and I believe it's sailed forever. Activity is really rising, and so numbers for December look very low if you look on a comparison from last December. Last December of 2021 was hands down the busiest December that we've ever seen in history. And so it's really not a good comparison. So when you see the scary numbers of the townhouses and row houses, they reduced by 42% of sales. Well, yeah, but they were actually higher than the year before and the year before that. The condo sales is the surprising ones. They're barely down from last year. Which means they're significantly up from the years before. So that's actually good news. And even though the prices don't reflect that, we're trending in the right directions. The single family homes have come down a little bit in pricing. Again, still higher than pre-COVID, still higher than 2021. They've just softened from the peak of this year. And so I expect that with supply and demand the way it is, as it sits right now, I've talked about it before, but months on inventory or months of inventory, I should say, is really the leading indicator in terms of what we should expect to happen. So, because everything is supply and demand, so those supply and demand levels are actually perfectly balanced right now, which suggests that we shouldn't see any price changes in any direction. We have approximately 5,000 active listings in Edmonton and surrounding. We saw just under 1,000 sales in December, and which would give us essentially 5 months worth of inventory. 5 months is the perfect balance number. Anything between 4 and 6, we don't expect too many changes. Creeping down below 4 is when prices would go up. Creeping up above 6 is when we expect prices to go down, because there's just more sellers than buyers, right? So us being right in the middle, I really don't suspect that we're going to see too many changes in pricing, at least in the very near future. I actually strongly believe, and we'll see if the economists agree with me when they have their forecasts coming out in the next few weeks, but I believe that we're going to see actually some mild progression in right direction. Prices should potentially start to creep up a little bit. I don't think we're going to see the sale numbers that we did this year. They were very close to 2021 as well, overall as a whole, because we had such a high number in the earlier parts of the year. And so, yeah, all in all, I think everything turned out really quite positively. I strongly believe that we are actually going to see a little bit of a shortage of inventory. We're experiencing it now. If you're watching this and you've been shopping, you would know that it's like, yeah, there's inventory, but a lot of it is sort of that standing inventory that isn't really all that interesting. So the good listings that come up are still snatched up quite quickly if they're priced where they need to be and presented as they should. So yeah, overall should be a positive year. I will wrap it up with that. I hope you guys have a wonderful start to your year, and I hope you have some great goals and you're looking forward to the year. I have a feeling that this one is going to be a lot easier on our hearts and souls than the last few years have been. So take care, and we'll see you next month.